Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Torpedoes and Tarantulas. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch this video. Hopefully you'll be entertained by it because today we are going to do a rehouse. You see old enclosure, new enclosure. Now I have several animals, I won't say tarantulas, but several animals in my collection, mostly tarantulas, that need rehousings. My trouble is right now, I do not have the enclosures, but I did have one enclosure. Um, this is the one that my female Phonoploma calcodes Nijoni was in, and then she molted, and then I put her in the glass Exoterra enclosure that she excuse me, is in now. I made this enclosure up for another tarantula. It was going to be for a breeding project. Unfortunately, that did not work out. That's why I didn't share any video on it. So I was sitting here looking through my collection and was like, you need to rehouse, you need to rehouse, you need to rehouse, but I don't have enclosures for you. And I saw this one, and this one's been needing a rehouse for a while, and I thought, you know what? I can reuse this one. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to rehouse a tarantula. This is a large species of tarantula. Now this one it's pretty decent size, but it's still kind of small by the standards of the adult of this species of tarantula. So it should be pretty interesting. It's a new world, so I don't have to worry about fast and hot venom and all that kind of stuff. But I'm definitely going to be ready for any kind of bolts. I suspect it's in a pre-molt, so I'm hoping I can just simply walk it from this one to this one. And then, of course, like I said, I suspect it's in a pre-molt. I hope that this enclosure will help it. This enclosure is much larger, and I sprayed it quite a bit with water right before I started this video. So we're going to move it over to there. Hopefully that will speed up the molt process, and I've been unable to sex this one so far. So fingers crossed that we get a good molt out of this one, and I can sex it. Then I can know what it is. We know the sex of it. Maybe I'll ask you guys to name it or something. I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, you guys go pop some popcorn, grab a beer or a soda or candy bar or whatever it is you guys do. I'm going to get set up. Let's rehouse the tarantula. All right, so here we go. I am set up now, and we're ready to rehouse this thing, which you're kind of getting a sneak peek of it right there. This tarantula, I don't know if I mentioned, is the new world. So like I said, I don't have to worry about fast bolts or hot venom. Just got to worry about maybe short bolts and maybe a little bit of hair kicking, but I don't think so. Because like I said, hopefully it is in a pre-molt, so it will be easy to move. And we will walk it over from one side to the other. And as I test its temperament, I will reveal. Yeah, that was a little bit of a kind of leave me alone posture. I wish I could get a better angle of that. Yeah, it wasn't having it. Let me finish with what it is we're rehousing here. And it's in a little bit of a grumpy mood, so that tells me what we need to do is change tactics and cup this thing and move it over. There's going to be no walking it over. But we'll just give you a good look at it here really quickly. This is the Lasiodora klugi. It's in the family with the Lasiodora parahybana, the salmon peak bird eater, which I will never be interested in because they're a dime a dozen. Some people like them. Don't really care much for them. Not really big on the giant spiders either, but the only reason I have this one is because this is actually a species of those giant bird-eating tarantulas. It's really gorgeous. They look like a giant, used to be Brachypelma vagans, but Tolil-Tecatl vagans. They look like a giant Mexican red rump. You cannot see it on video right now, but this thing has got quite the red hairs on its abdomen. But like I said, I think it's in a pre-molt, so those colors are fading. So hopefully we will get a good molt out of this one, and we can sex it. I am going to rearrange things, go to plan B, and meet me right back here for a rehouse. Alright guys, so here is the issue with going with the cup and transfer method. The defensive mode that this thing is in, it's going to be difficult for me to actually remove the obstacle, which is this skull. See what I mean? See those fangs? Yeah, wouldn't want to get tagged by those. So this skull here, I'll point down through the enclosure, is in the way. If that was not in there, I could actually just lay my catch bottle right over the top of it, but that thing is in the way, and it's actually, the tarantula is on the side. It's giving us a really awesome threat display too, by the way. And I definitely believe this thing's probably in a pre-molt, and that's probably why it's so pissy. That's why I want to get it moved with as little stress as possible. But I think in the new enclosure, that will help to kickstart that molt process, and hopefully in the next week or so, it will molt, and maybe we will know what it is. So I am going to look at this from another angle, and then we will come back and get this thing rehoused. I mean, look at those fangs, guys. That is one pissed off tarantula. And I didn't mean to do that, but we are getting a really good look of a threat posture from a New World tarantula. Now, Old Worlds will do the same thing, and I definitely would not want to get tagged by one of those, but I just thought I would give you this view before I rethink how we're going to move this thing. Gosh, look at those fangs. Whew! Would not want to take a bite from those. Alright, so I'm just going to swoop in with my smaller catch bottle and just kind of cut it off from the skull, and then try to start to kick a little hair there, and it kicked a little more hair, but we finally got it into the transfer container, and there you can see that rump, and that is a big fat booty right there. Doesn't look all that dark, and you can't really see it on the lighting that we've got going on here, but it looks like starting to get a bit of a sheen on its abdomen. And of course, that type of hair kicking right there wasn't so much defensive. That was, I'm getting ready to molt. I kick loose those hairs to make a nice soft mat to molt on. So I've got it in the enclosure. It seems to be a little bit chill now. Let me get the other enclosure, and let's end this video. Alright, let's see if we can just back it out into its new home without it throwing many more strikes or threat postures. It definitely seemed to have calmed down, and I think it's just from my short experience, that it is definitely in a pre-molt, which is a quite trying time for them. I mean, imagine every few months you have to shed your own skin to continue to grow and be comfortable. Well, that's what these guys go through. So you can imagine being quite grumpy. I'm sure everything would hurt and ache. But this thing is definitely very close to a molt. And so I will keep you guys updated on that. But just keep in mind, I am a very busy guy. I have a life outside of these animals, unfortunately. So it may not be up to the minute, but I will let you guys know what's going on with this tarantula. Hopefully it molts pretty soon. That went pretty well. I think I've got a streak started again. That was directed at some of you that have been with me for a while. And I hope you enjoyed it. I've got to get back around to my regular life stuff. I've got to eat some dinner and get ready for bed because I've got to go to work in the morning. But again, I hope you did enjoy this video. Let me know with a thumbs up and a comment. Subscribe and share if you have not done that. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves and each other. Don't let all the craziness in this world get you pulled into it. You just be yourself and be you. And trust in your maker, whoever that is. Take care. God bless.